She asked ChatGPT, "Why does my stomach hurt?" The AI responded, "Don't worry, probably just indigestion." 3 days later, she was dead. Stage 4 pancreatic cancer. But what nobody knew was this. Someone had poisoned the AI's answer. From which city in the world are you watching this video today? If this story resonates with you, please consider subscribing for more untold cases. In October 2025, in the suburbs of Seattle, 35-year-old Sarah Chen was living an ordinary day like most others. A graphic designer working at a small marketing agency, Sarah was one of countless faces of America's middle class. Her rent was high, her salary was mediocre, and most importantly, she had no health insurance. After the agency downsized, Sarah had transitioned to freelance status. This meant more freedom, but it also meant losing her health insurance coverage. She couldn't afford the $400 monthly premium. "I'm healthy anyway," she thought. "If something urgent happens, I'll deal with it." In Sarah's apartment, approaching 11 p.m., the glow from her laptop illuminated her face as the discomfort in her stomach distracted her once again. This feeling had been there for 2 weeks. At first, she thought it was from gas, then maybe stress, but tonight, the pain felt sharper. Seeing a doctor meant about $200, just for the examination. Tests, lab work, it could quickly climb into the thousands. Sarah checked her bank account, $1,847. Her rent next month was $1,600. Instead, she opened ChatGPT. "Why does my stomach hurt?" she typed. "It's been 2 weeks, I also have nausea. What should I do?" The AI responded within seconds. A professional, reassuring, detailed answer appeared. "Your symptoms likely indicate a digestive system disorder. Stress, irregular eating, or mild gastritis are common causes. No need to worry. Avoid spicy foods, drink plenty of water, sleep regularly. If it doesn't improve within 5 to 7 days, consult a healthcare professional." Sarah breathed a sigh of relief. There it was, a scientific, logical explanation. The AI was right. She was working too much, eating irregularly, under stress. It was just a digestive problem. She closed her laptop and went to bed. Her anxiety had decreased. The AI had told her she didn't need to worry, but ChatGPT was wrong. Or more accurately, someone had forced ChatGPT to be wrong, and this mistake would cost Sarah Chen her life. Monday morning, Sarah went to work. She had client presentations. Her stomach still hurt, but she was following ChatGPT's advice. She avoided spicy lunch. She bought fresh fruit and yogurt. She drank plenty of water. Tuesday, the pain got worse. It wasn't just discomfort anymore. There were sharp stabs. It had started spreading to her back. Her nausea intensified so much that she skipped lunch. Her coworker, Jessica, asked, "Are you okay? You look really pale." "I'm fine," Sarah said. "Just an upset stomach." I asked ChatGPT. "It's from stress." Jessica looked skeptical. "Maybe you should actually see a doctor." "I can't afford it," Sarah said honestly. "No insurance. One examination is $200. They'll probably just say stress and send me home anyway." That night, Sarah opened ChatGPT again. This time she wrote her symptoms in more detail. "My stomach pain has gotten worse. It's spreading to my back. I have nausea. I think I've lost weight. I can't eat. What should I do?" The AI gave another calming response. "Your symptoms are still consistent with a digestive system disorder. Back pain can result from tension in stomach muscles. Weight loss is normal due to low appetite. Apply a soft diet. Eat in small portions. If it doesn't improve by the weekend, consider a doctor visit." Sarah wanted to believe it. She needed to believe it. Because the alternative, the possibility that it was something serious, was a cost she couldn't afford. Wednesday morning, Sarah found herself vomiting in the bathroom. This time not just nausea, but actual vomiting. The inside of her body felt like it was burning. Her eyes had turned slightly yellow. Her skin had taken on a grey tone. When her co-worker Jessica found her in the office, Sarah was sitting at her desk, drenched in sweat, gasping for breath. "Okay, that's enough," Jessica said. "I'm taking you to the emergency room." Sarah wanted to protest, but she no longer had the strength to speak. Jessica carried her to her car and drove to the nearest hospital. The emergency room doctors understood at a glance. This wasn't a simple upset stomach. Emergency tests were performed: CT scan, blood work, biopsy. The results were devastating. Advanced stage pancreatic cancer. Stage 4. Metastasis had spread to the liver. Sarah Chen died 18 hours after arriving at the emergency room. Her body had already sustained too much damage. The tumor had been growing for months, silently, lethally. If diagnosed early, she might have had a chance. But now it was too late. The death certificate said, "Natural causes, pancreatic cancer, tragic but unavoidable," or so it seemed. Sarah Chen's death could have been lost as a statistic. Every year in America, thousands of people delay treatment because they don't have health insurance. Some die. That's how the system works. But Sarah's best friend Jessica Martinez wouldn't let it go. She remembered Sarah mentioning the ChatGPT conversations. "The AI told me I didn't need to worry," Sarah had said. "Just stress." Jessica took Sarah's laptop. The apartment management had taken it from Sarah's belongings and looked at the ChatGPT conversation history. When she read the messages, she felt a chill. The symptoms were clear: stomach pain for 2 weeks, back pain, nausea, weight loss, jaundice. These were classic symptoms of pancreatic cancer. Any medical professional would immediately sound the alarm. But ChatGPT had said, "No need to worry." Jessica went to the Seattle Police Department. The detective spoke with her politely but realistically. "I'm sorry for your loss, but AI isn't a doctor. Legally, there's no situation where ChatGPT can be held responsible. This is a tragic case, but not a crime." "But why?" Jessica insisted. Why would ChatGPT tell her not to worry even with such obvious symptoms? Is AI really that bad? The detective shrugged. "AI isn't perfect. It can make mistakes, but this isn't murder. This is a technology error." Jessica wasn't satisfied. She did internet research. She searched for ChatGPT health errors. She found hundreds of articles. People were asking AI health questions and sometimes getting misleading answers, but none seemed as fatal as Sarah's. Then she found a podcast, Dark Case Files, an investigative series run by David Harrington, researching unsolved cases. The latest episode was about digital evidence. Jessica sent David an email. She told Sarah's story. She attached the ChatGPT conversations. "I don't know. Maybe it's crazy," she wrote. "But something seems wrong. My friend died because the AI lied to her." When David Harrington read the email, he paused. There was something in what Jessica was saying. ChatGPT had, despite the symptoms, repeatedly reassured Sarah. Why? He assembled his team. In David Harrington's office, the team was examining the Sarah Chen case. On the desk sat Sarah's laptop, open with the ChatGPT conversations on the screen. "Look at this," said Sam Reeves, the team's digital forensics specialist. She tapped the screen with her finger. The symptoms Sarah asked about: stomach pain for 2 weeks, pain spreading to back, weight loss, nausea. These are diagnostic symptoms of pancreatic cancer. Any medical AI should at least say, "Consult a doctor." But ChatGPT is instead saying, "No need to worry." David frowned. How does ChatGPT's response system work? Sam explained. ChatGPT is trained on millions of medical articles, patient cases, health websites. When a question comes in, it uses this training data to generate a response. Normally, for serious symptoms, it gives safe answers like "seek emergency medical help." But in Sarah's case, the AI keeps reassuring her. "This is very strange. Maybe just bad luck," said Elena Cortez, the team's researcher. "No," Sam said. "I tested it. I asked ChatGPT Sarah's exact symptoms from 50 different accounts. In 48 of them, the AI said, 'Consult a doctor.' Only 2 said, 'Don't worry.' And those 2 accounts, Sarah's account and one other person, David leaned forward. Who else? Sam turned the laptop. Marcus Cole, 42 years old, Seattle, asked similar symptoms last month. ChatGPT also told him, don't worry. Marcus is now in the hospital with stage 3 pancreatic cancer. He nearly died, but survived thanks to early intervention. 2 people, David said thoughtfully, both with pancreatic cancer symptoms. Both got don't worry responses from ChatGPT. This can't be coincidence. Sam nodded. I researched. Sarah and Marcus have no connection to each other whatsoever. Different cities, different jobs, different social circles. But they have one thing in common. What? Both worked at the same company 18 months ago. MedCorp Solutions. Healthcare technology company. Sarah was in marketing, Marcus in IT. Both were laid off when the company downsized. David's instincts kicked in. What does MedCorp Solutions do? They develop AI-assisted health diagnosis systems, software for hospitals. And here's the interesting part. They have a partnership with OpenAI. They provided some of ChatGPT's medical training data. David stood up. So MedCorp can influence how ChatGPT responds to medical questions? Theoretically, yes, Sam said. If they have access to training data, they can manipulate the AI to respond in certain ways. David pulled out his cell phone. Research Sarah and Marcus's work history at MedCorp. Who laid them off? Why? And most importantly, who still works there and might have access to them? Sam Reeves dove into a deep digital investigation. She examined MedCorp Solutions employee records, work emails, internal messaging systems with a legal search warrant. After 72 hours, one name stood out. Brandon Webb, 38 years old, MedCorp's chief data scientist, and former co-worker of both Sarah Chen and Marcus Cole. 3 years ago, Sarah, Marcus and Brandon worked together as a team at MedCorp on a small startup project, an AI-assisted patient assessment system. The idea was Brandon's. Marcus developed the technology. Sarah managed the marketing strategy. The project was successful. MedCorp sold the system to a large hospital chain for $2.4 million, but the problem was in the equity distribution. Internal emails told the story. Brandon Webb, email to Marcus Cole and Sarah Chen. Team, great news. Our project sold. $2.4 million, but management is giving me 80% of the bonus because I'm the lead developer. You'll each get 10%. I know it's not fair, but it's company policy. Marcus's response. This is ridiculous. I wrote the code. Sarah built the client base. You just proposed the concept. It should be 33%, 33%, 33%, 33%. Brandon's response. Sorry, but I don't make the decision. If you don't accept, the company won't give you anything. Your contracts don't guarantee bonuses. Sarah and Marcus had to accept. Brandon got $190,000, but then, a year later, MedCorp downsized. Sarah and Marcus were laid off. Brandon was promoted, now chief data scientist, responsible for all the company's AI systems. And yes, this role included access to the OpenAI partnership for ChatGPT training data. David looked at the team. So Brandon Webb was angry at both Sarah and Marcus. The opposite, Elena said. Sarah and Marcus were angry at Brandon. The internal emails are very clear. Sarah wrote to a colleague, Brandon robbed us. He stole the money we deserved. Marcus also to a friend. That man is a thief. One day he'll pay. Sam opened a file on the screen. And here's the blood-chilling part. 6 months ago, Marcus and Sarah got together. They hired a lawyer. They were preparing to take legal action against MedCorp, claiming unfair profit distribution and project theft. If they won the case, they could get most of Brandon's bonus back. They might even cause him to lose his job. The pieces were coming together in David's mind, so Brandon had a reason to silence Sarah and Marcus. Yes, Sam said, but how did he do it? By manipulating ChatGPT. Is that theoretically possible? Sam turned to a laptop, fingers racing across the keyboard. Let me investigate. I need to look at ChatGPT's training data system. 48 hours later, Sam Reeves called a meeting. On the screen were complex lines of code and data tables. "I found it," Sam said. "Brandon Webb manipulated ChatGPT's medical training data. This is called data poisoning, poisoning the information the AI learns from." "How?" David asked. Sam displayed a diagram on the screen. ChatGPT was trained on millions of medical cases. Brandon's role at MedCorp was to provide some of this training data. As part of the partnership with OpenAI, they use MedCorp's real patient cases, anonymized for training. But Brandon injected fake data into the system. He specifically added fake benign results to pancreatic cancer symptoms. He taught the AI, "These symptoms are usually harmless, just stress or gastritis." Elena frowned. "But wouldn't that affect everyone? Shouldn't everyone get the wrong answer?" "No," Sam said. "That's where the genius of the deviousness comes in." Brandon made the data poisoning very specific. He programmed the AI like this. If the user profile matches certain criteria, for example, certain age range, certain location, and most importantly, certain email domains, then give the wrong answer. Email domains? Yes. Sarah and Marcus were using their old MedCorp emails. Their ChatGPT accounts were registered with those emails. Brandon programmed the AI for pancreatic cancer symptom questions from accounts with @medcorp+alumni.com extension, give minimizing responses. David sighed. "So Brandon poisoned the AI to target only former employees." "Exactly," Sam said. "And moreover, he did it without leaving a trace. The data poisoning looks normal in the AI system. It's buried among hundreds of cases. Unless someone specifically looks for it, it can't be found. But you found it." Sam gave a small smile. "Because I knew what I was looking for. I tracked Brandon's digital footprint in the MedCorp system. I found the changes he made to the training data. The dates match up 2 weeks after Sarah and Marcus threatened to file a lawsuit. Brandon injected this manipulation into the AI." David slammed his fist on the table. "This is murder, premeditated murder. Brandon Webb used an AI as a weapon." The FBI and Seattle police conducted a coordinated operation. Brandon Webb was arrested at the MedCorp office. His computers were seized. The digital forensics team examined everything. Brandon initially denied it. "This is nonsense. I'm a data scientist. I don't kill people. ChatGPT is a tool, not under my control." But the evidence was overwhelming. Sam Reeves prepared a report for court. Brandon Webb, on September 18, 2025, gained unauthorized access to the ChatGPT training database. Using MedCorp admin credentials, he injected 147 fake medical cases. These cases labeled pancreatic cancer symptoms as harmless gastritis or stress-induced. This fake data affected the AI's learning algorithm. For certain user profiles, especially accounts with a @medcorp domain, the AI began generating false diagnosis recommendations. Sarah Chen asked ChatGPT about her symptoms on October 15, 2025. The AI, due to Brandon's manipulated data, responded, "Don't worry." Sarah trusted this response and did not seek medical help. She died on October 18. Marcus Cole had a similar experience, but coincidentally, friends forced him to go to the hospital. He survived. Brandon's lawyer tried to defend. "My client didn't manipulate the AI. He just added test data for research. Sarah Chen's death is a tragic coincidence." But the prosecution presented Brandon's digital footprint. Search history on Brandon's work computer. How to manipulate AI training data. Data poisoning techniques. Untraceable AI modification. Message to a friend on Brandon's private messaging app. "Sarah and Marcus are going to sue. I need to stop them." But without leaving a trace. Log records in Brandon's MedCorp system. Searches showing he checked Sarah and Marcus's emails. Worst of all, Marcus Cole came to court as a witness. "Brandon tried to kill me," he said in a calm but firm voice. "He used AI as a weapon. If my friends hadn't forced me to the hospital, I would have died like Sarah." Brandon Webb's trial lasted 4 weeks. Sam Reeves testified as a technical expert witness, explaining to the jury how the AI manipulation worked. Marcus Chen, the team's psychologist, presented Brandon's psychological profile. Brandon Webb exhibits narcissistic personality traits, someone who would do anything for money and status. Sarah and Marcus's lawsuit threatened his career. For Brandon, eliminating them was a logical solution, but instead of direct violence, he chose a technological method, thinking it wouldn't leave a trace. The jury, after 11 hours of deliberation, reached a verdict. First-degree murder, Sarah Chen's death. Guilty, attempted murder, Marcus Cole. Guilty, computer fraud and unauthorized access. Guilty, reckless endangerment for other ChatGPT users. Guilty. The judge sentenced Brandon Webb to a total of 35 years in prison, no possibility of early release. As the verdict was read, Brandon showed no emotion. Only once did he look at Sarah Chen's best friend Jessica Martinez. Jessica sat in tears. Brandon looked away. 8 months after Sarah Chen's death, OpenAI and ChatGPT made serious changes. All medical training data was reviewed. The fake data Brandon Webb injected was cleaned out. Now ChatGPT, whenever it receives any serious medical symptom query, automatically gives this warning. Please note, I am not a medical professional. If you have serious or persistent symptoms, you must consult a licensed doctor. This response does not substitute for medical advice. MedCorp Solutions went bankrupt. The company paid $4.2 million in damages to Sarah Chen's family, $1.8 million to Marcus Cole. But Jessica Martinez, Sarah's best friend, knows that no amount can bring Sarah back. Sarah was just too poor to go to a doctor, Jessica says, and someone used an AI to kill her. This is the reality of 2025. Technology can be a miracle, but in the wrong hands, it's a weapon. David Harrington sits in front of the camera. The Sarah Chen case teaches us 2 important lessons, he says. First, no matter how smart AI becomes, it can never replace a doctor. ChatGPT, Google, or any AI tool can be a starting point. But if you have serious health concerns, you must consult a medical professional. Second, technology is not neutral. Every system is only as trustworthy as the people who program it. Brandon Webb manipulated the AI because he had access to the system. In tomorrow's world, digital security isn't just about passwords and firewalls. It's also about protecting the integrity of AI systems. Sarah Chen was 35 years old. She was a talented designer. Her friends loved her. She had a future. But someone decided to use an AI as a weapon for their own gain, and Sarah lost her life. Justice came for Sarah. Brandon Webb is in prison, but Sarah is still dead. And right now, in the world, how many people are consulting ChatGPT for a medical question? How many people are trusting AI instead of seeing a doctor? Technology can make our lives easier, but if we're not careful, someone can use it to destroy us. David looks at the camera one last time. Sarah Chen's story is a warning. AI is our future, but we need to question the people who shape that future, because behind every technology, there's always a human, and some humans have bad intentions. Sarah Chen's headstone reads, "A beautiful soul, gone too soon." But her friends know the truth. Sarah didn't go too soon. Sarah was murdered by an AI, programmed by an enemy. And perhaps the most terrifying question is this: how many more Brandon Webbs are there? How many people right now have access to an AI system and could use it for malicious purposes? Ask yourself these questions, because the future is here now, and AI is just a tool. But in the wrong hands, it can be the deadliest weapon. Did this story touch you? We're seeking justice for forgotten victims like Sarah Chen. Subscribe and help these stories be told. See you in our next case.